These two have been. Sorry.
They've been at each other's throats for months.
Yeah. And while these two may have been in the main event for the world title, this honestly felt secondary to the stuff they're doing with Austin and Triple H. Like, to me, that was really like the top feud.
Mm-hmm.
So, great opportunity here for both the workers to really prove something. Really to. I mean, they are in the main event nonetheless.
Right.
But Rock would start out on top early here, coming out strong. Kurt would have to use some heel tactics to get back into it. The match was really starting to find its footing and get rolling until a certain someone who would randomly get involved. Once again, this is like the second straight match that it had like a random run-in.
Yeah, and
this one...
The third time overall, though, I think.
Yeah, well, going back to the first match, there were so many of them. But I guess that kind of made sense because...
I don't know but I honestly lost track on why Big Show...
Yeah, I have no idea why this happened whatsoever. So, that certain someone would be the Big Show. He chokes him, Rock, Angle, and even the referee. And then to make matters even stranger, while the original official was being removed, The Rock would grab the title and hit Kurt Angle in the head with it. What?
Rock's the face in this, man. May we mind you.
Yes, and after this, Rock would go for the cover and Angle would kick out. Angle would apply the ankle lock later. Angle would tell him to tap or he'd break his ankle. Rock would he'd eventually make it to the ropes. Then he'd hit a people's elbow and a rock bottom later, which wouldn't be enough. Angle would hit an angle slam as well, which also wouldn't be enough. But however, a second rock bottom would be, as Rock would cover Angle for the 1-2-3 and would win the WWF Championship. All in all, minus the Big Show interference and everything, it was still a really solid match.
Yeah.
Could have been a great one.
For the great one.
Yeah, there you go. Had that stuff not happened, of course, Rock's the new champ at this point. 16 minutes, 53 seconds was recorded time for this match. 3.25 from you, 3.5 from me. Still a really solid match, though, but could have been actually a great one. Had all that stuff like that happen. If you could take all that stuff away that we said, still a good match, of course.
Right. If you can take away the Big Show thing, you got a solid match.
Yeah. So final show rating for both of us was 8 out of 10. Great pay-per-view.
Despite the weird booking.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff in there, but I mean that Austin and Triple H match is still so great.
Yeah.
And, even the main event was good.
Yeah, it's hard to hate something.
Yeah, there's there wasn't with the exception of the hardcore title thing, as we said earlier, which I mean I don't know how you can really rate it, and the exception of the Lawler match, every match on here was really good. So it was a great show. So we did, of course, the Royal Rumble 2001, and we're doing No Way Out 2001 here. Next month, we'll be doing WrestleMania X7, which is considered by many to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Honestly, I think are we doing that one first? Because I think we should do that one first.
Oh yeah, it is the first one.
All right, good. That's cool. Good.
Yes, good. Of course. Of course, that'll be a show that we'll judge that for ourselves. But nonetheless, the WWE we're on a hell of a stretch here in early 2001 with these early pay-per-view events. Because, of course, Rumble 2001, also great show.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. This show, great show. Check it out as well. And then I guess you'd have the aftermath here. Of course, there'd be WrestleMania X7. Of course, there'd be the Vince McMahon, Linda stuff. That would continue on. Eventually, we'd have ourselves a street fight between him and his son Shane at WrestleMania with Mick Foley as a special referee. Of course, they were running the angle where Shane had bought WCW. They ran that on the last episode of Nitro, and that was actually the last segment they ran on that episode of Nitro. So,
I now own WCW.
Well, what's kind of funny about that to me is I mean, I guess it was theirs now. It was theirs now, that company, so they could kind of do whatever they wanted with it. But I do find it funny at the last ever episode of their, what would have been their competition or their rival promotion, the last thing they do on their show was they run an angle to promote their match at Mania.
Yeah.
I think the last thing that ever aired on that program was a commercial for that WrestleMania.
That's funny.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But then also, of course, we'd have the three-way tables, ladders, and chairs match, a classic for the World Tag Team titles with the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon.
Number 3, 2.
Yeah, it's the third one. Of course, they had the triangle ladder match. Then they had the
First ever TLC match.
first ever TLC match at SummerSlam of 2000. Of course, we have the Edge and Christian. We have the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. Then we're gonna have, as we said before, Triple H and Undertaker. They'll have their match.
We've moved that many times.
Yeah, first of 3.
Yeah.
And then we'd have, of course, in the main event, we'd have Rock and Austin second time. Of course, first being at WrestleMania 15, which is a show which we did not have originally set in the lineup. But we are doing St. Valentine's Day Massacre next week. That'll be JNC Rewind number 15. And we already did the Royal Rumble of 1999. So I'm thinking we should try to find a way to get that in there. Because we have actually a few different manias we're doing where we're covering the Rumble, then the pay-per-view in between, and after. So I'm saying, and I'm thinking to myself that we should find a way to get that in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So this is a great show, but in fact, let's, of course, we do our reminders as always at the end of every single show.
Yeah, our handles, what we're on.
Well, let's run it down, shall we? Of course, we're gonna get into the lineup here. So of course, this is No Way Out 2001, not an originally scheduled program.
No.
Originally, it was supposed to be an In Your House of Final Four of 1997, which we decided to switch that out. Of course, there is a reason for why we did that. We're going to probably get into that sometime later down the road as to why we did that.
Yeah.
But for now, that's just what we decided to do. So, No Way Out 2000 of this month. Check. Of course, last week we didn't have JNC Radio, so we replaced it with No Way Out 2007 as a little bonus show. So, check that off. No Way Out 2001. Check that off for today.
What's next? What's in store for next week?
Of course, JNC Rewind number 15, St. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1999. And, of course, also, we're going to have that Monday, NXT TakeOver Portland review and recap coming your way. And then we'll have JNC Rewind number 16 with WWE No Way Out of 2008.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wait.
Yes, we'll have 2008. So, yeah, we'll have all the February. We'll have all of our, stuff that we were originally supposed to do. I guess there's Super Showdown, so I'm thinking we'll probably have to try to get that in there.
Yeah. You know
we'll
what's
probably
really
do that.
You know what's really funny? To me, the card doesn't look bad, but since it's a sorry show, I already know it's going to suck.
Well, that's the problem with those. Is they're never good.
Yeah, but if you actually took the time and actually analyzed and looked over the card is actually not that bad.
In fact, why don't we run it down real quick right now while I got it? Yeah, so of course recently Goldberg and The Fiend was announced for the show, as announced per Friday Night SmackDown. So far we have 4 confirmed matches. Mm-hmm. We have The New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Big E versus The Miz and John Morrison. I'm all here for that.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar and Ricochet. Some people were kind of disappointed that they went with Ricochet here, only because some people thought that I'm not either, because is Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley an enticing is that an enticing match and a perfect matchup? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, Bobby Lashley's coming fresh off the Rusev angle with Lana and Liv Morgan and everything, and I still don't know what the deal is with that. Because neither one of them really had Lashley was on obviously this week because he was in that match, but Rusev hasn't been on in weeks.
Well, what I heard is that he got pulled off because he's possibly not going to be in the lead much longer.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Oh, wow.
They pulled him off TV.
So then, then we had Roman Reigns and King Corbin in a steel cage. Okay, that's the only one that we're not really.
This should just end it with the Falls Count Anywhere match, whatever.
Yeah, then we had the dog food thing again.
Yeah, actually, that's when they should have ended it. You got the revenge.
Yeah, but it's why? It's they just gotta drag everything. It just.
Yeah. I mean, dude. Now that it's in a steel cage match, probably one of the best matches
to end
a feud.
Oh no, this will probably end it now. But it's this. It's why do they get? Oh, but I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah.
Because next there'll be some SmackDown, and
then we're gonna be facing them again.
Yeah. Or say Roman Reigns somehow somehow he wins the Universal title.
Actually, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna take a month off. He's gonna win the Universal title,
and then they're gonna go right back to it. And that'll
Yeah.
be like his first challenger.
Yep. Guarantee it. You heard it here, folks. We're not saying we want it. We hate it. We don't want it, but we know.
Yeah. Then we got, of course, the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Goldberg. Make with that if you want. That actually surprised me because I thought actually the way they were gonna go is I thought they were gonna just do Roman and Goldberg, which who knows, they may still do it somehow down the road.
That's gonna be their next Saudi match,
or maybe in the SummerSlam match, maybe.
Oh, actually, no, yeah, that'd probably be better.
Yeah. So I'm still thinking it somewhere in my head that that's like something that's probably gonna happen. But yeah, of course they'll do that, and then of course if they ever somehow did like an edge match with him and Roman, then you'd have two matches, the Sphere versus Sphere. But so I don't know. But so we'll have the month of February down with that. Of course, that Super Showdown that's supposed to be February 27th, and so we could. Oh yeah. I'm thinking, we should probably find a way to get that in. Of course,
what's the day? What's the day of the week?
I think it's a Thursday.
That's weird.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. They're always like during the day too, so it's like they're always like at a weird time.
Yeah, well, because
I mean, there's a big time difference.
Yeah, obviously.
But I mean, so I really wonder how many people can even like really watch this like as it's going on. But so then of course we'll have that down. Then moving on to March, once again we'll have AEW Revolution 2020. That is of course on Leap Day, February 29th. But we're gonna have that show for you on March 1st, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Then we're gonna flip flop that. We're gonna do the pay-per-view review and recap that Sunday, because of course AEW pay-per-views are on Saturday nights, and we're gonna be doing the WrestleMania X7 GNC Rewind the following day. That'll be at the Monday 11 a.m. Eastern time slot scheduled. Then next week we'll be back with the WrestleMania 21 GNC Rewind, and then following that we'll have the Elimination Chamber 2020 review and recap. Then we will have an all WrestleMania GNC Rewind weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be having WrestleMania 23 and 24, March 15th and 16th.
Yeah.
Then we're going to be back the next week with WrestleMania 10. Then we're going to have JNC Radio, of course, previewing. We're going to have that, of course, previewing TakeOver and WrestleMania. We're going to have that in there somewhere. But then we'll have WrestleMania 19 as well. And of course, then we'll have TakeOver Mania, April 5th and 6th will be the shows. And then, so I'll be all the way through Mania there. And then, of course, we do have the rest of the April lineup. Go ahead and go to JNC Radio's brand new website, jncradio.weebly.com, to get all the updates, of course. It has been recently updated as well. So check out the episodes page. It's basically like our archive page where you can go and get direct links exactly to Spreaker.com. It'll take you there and then give you direct links to all of the past episodes and shows that we've done. So go ahead and check that out.
Highly recommend.
Very straightforward. Of course, we do look to. We're looking at merch. We do have a merchandise page on there, but we don't really have any formal merch out there yet. So we're hoping some point we can get that going.
Yes.
We do have some designs and concepts that have been designed, but nothing like, of course, official. But we'll keep you guys up to date on that.
Right.
So, of course, this was No Way Out 2001. Of course, we talked about a little extra stuff here at the end, but of course, that is okay. Because, of course...
at the end, you can talk about whatever the hell you want.
Exactly. Well, there's that, and honestly, I mean...
It's hard not to bring up these things.
Yeah, it's hard not to bring up these things, and honestly, I mean, feel free if you want, of course, I appreciate anyone who's willing to tune in and listen and whatever, but if we get to the stage, and you've already heard everything about the show that you need to, if you want to tune out at that point, go ahead. We're just running down just like updates on the future and stuff. You want to hear it, of course, and you want to stay up to date, or you just want to.
If not, you're gonna see it anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen, of
Yeah.
course. But I mean, what I'm saying is once we get done with the discussing everything, and we just running down the the usual reminders and stuff. It's okay to tune out if you already know, and you're a follower of us on social media, and you check out the website and everything, and if you're already up to date and speed and everything, and you don't need to know anything else, go ahead.
Yeah.
So that's not bothering us, of course. We mostly just want you here, of course, for the just to listen to the show.